Arsenal announce arrival of player hours after transfer. Window closes. Arsenal have officially confirmed a new arrival hours after the January transfer window slammed shut. On Monday night at 7 p.m, the winter transfer window for English clubs came to a close. At the start of the day, the Gunners were linked with a shock move for Newcastle United star Sandro Tonali after an injury suffered by Mikel Merino. However, a move never materialized as Newcastle were in no mood to let the Italian midfielder leave. Arsenal brought the transfer deadline to a close without adding any new first-team players. However, on Tuesday evening, the club confirmed the arrival of young defender Jayden Dixon, who will link up with the Arsenal Academy. In an official statement, the Academy announced, "Welcome to the Arsenal, Jayden. We are delighted to confirm the signing of defender Jayden Dixon from Stoke City." The club added that Dixon joins from Championship side Stoke City. The 18-year-old had moved to Stoke from Tottenham Hotspur in the summer of 2023 and signed his first professional contract in May 2024. The statement continued, "An England youth international who is also eligible to represent Jamaica, Jayden has featured for England at under 17, under 18 and under 19 level. Everyone at Arsenal would like to congratulate Jayden and welcome him to the club." The transfer remains subject to the completion of regulatory processes. Dixon also shared a farewell message to Stoke City on social media, writing, "My time at Stoke has come to an end. I want to say a massive thank you to all the coaches who have supported me over the years. Thank you, Stoke City, for memories I'll never forget." He becomes Arsenal's second academy signing of the week. Following the arrival of Evan Mooney on Monday, the 18-year-old joined the Gunners from Scottish Premiership side St Mirren. Meanwhile, Arsenal are back in action on Tuesday night as they host Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium in the second leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final. The Gunners carry a 3-2 advantage from the first leg with a place in the final on the line. Arteta provides squad update. Mikel Arteta has also spoken about player availability ahead of this weekend's league clash against Sunderland, as Arsenal look to strengthen their grip at the top of the Premier League table. While the squad remains largely unchanged, the manager confirmed that one key attacker is still missing, and another versatile player has been ruled out for the season, a setback Arteta admitted was difficult to accept. Bukayosaka is improving a lot with his hip injury, so hopefully he'll be back with us very soon, Arteta said. Martinodegaard is also getting better. We think it will be a matter of days. Jurriën Timber is fine. Max Dalman hasn't trained with us yet, so it will still be a few weeks, but he's progressing well. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been brilliant. It's been great to share time with him and learn from his experiences. Hopefully, we can support him through a tough period and wish him the very best in whatever he decides to do. We're also very happy to have Kaihavertz back. He gives the team something completely different, and the level he's shown immediately after such a long injury has been very impressive. It's a big blow to lose Mikel Merino. He offers something unique, but he'll be out for months with a very rare injury. We need to support him, keep him close to the group, because he can still add real value to both the players and the staff. Former Arsenal star recalls disgusting dressing room moment. A former Arsenal player has revealed a remarkable story from his time at the club, recalling how a teammate criticized him as disgusting before a Premier League match. Modern footballers are expected to maintain strict professional standards, with regular fitness checks and tight controls on diet and lifestyle. Alcohol consumption, in particular, is heavily discouraged due to its impact on performance. One ex-Arsenal player learned this lesson the hard way during the 2013-14 season. Italian goalkeeper Emiliano Viviano, who was on loan from Palermo, found himself unexpectedly included in the squad for a 3-0 defeat against Everton. At the time, Viviano was third choice behind Wojciech Szczesny and Łukasz Fabianski, and he did not expect to be involved at Goodison Park. Szczesny was set to start, with Fabianski on the bench, but illness forced Fabianski to withdraw at the last moment. Viviano later recalled the incident in an interview with La Gazzetta dello Sport. "I wasn't called up for Everton versus Arsenal, so I went out for the night. Around 2 a.m, I stepped outside for a cigarette and saw a message saying Fabianski was ill and that a car would pick me up at 6:30 a.m. I had already drunk half a bottle of vodka. I showed the message to my friend who owned the club, and he asked, 'What now?' I told him, 'Now bring me more vodka.' I got home at dawn, had a shower, and when I arrived in the dressing room in Liverpool, Santi Cazorla said to me, 'You smell of alcohol. You're disgusting.'" Viviano admitted the moment nearly caused him to panic. "It was the only time in my life I almost had a panic attack. I kept thinking, if I have to come on, "My career is over." The goalkeeper never made a first-team appearance for Arsenal and returned to Italy after his loan spell ended. He later played for Sampdoria, Sporting CP, Spal, Fatih Karagümrük and Ascoli before retiring in 2024. Now aged 40, Viviano is considering a move into coaching. Sandro Tonali's agent fuels Arsenal speculation with Newcastle. Update: Sandro Tonali's agent has confirmed that discussions over the midfielder's future will take place at the end of the season after Newcastle United shut down any possibility of a January move to Arsenal. Tonali emerged as a surprise Arsenal target on deadline day, with the Gunners exploring options following Mikel Merino's injury. Reports initially suggested that Tonali's agent, Giuseppe Riso, had sparked the speculation, though those claims were quickly dismissed. Still, Riso has since added fresh intrigue by addressing Arsenal's reported interest in an interview with Tuttosport. Newcastle are finding it very difficult to let Sandro go, and he wants to help the club reach the Champions League, Riso said. These discussions will happen later. We'll see how the season finishes and then decide the next steps. While it now appears Arsenal's January interest may have been exaggerated, the club is still believed to be monitoring Tonali's situation closely. The midfielder will enter the final 2 years of his Newcastle contract this summer, making the upcoming window a potentially decisive moment in his career. At 25, Tonali is eager to play Champions League football and is clearly capable of performing at that level. However, with Newcastle currently stuck in mid-table, their chances of offering European football next season look uncertain. That reality could complicate efforts to retain the Italian, especially with other clubs circling. According to The Times, Chelsea, Manchester City and Juventus are also keeping tabs on Tonali. A move to Arsenal remains a realistic option, though the Gunners are already well stocked in midfield and may be reluctant to commit to another high-cost signing. Other suitors could push more aggressively once the season ends. There's no preference right now, Riso added. It's still early. What we say today might not apply tomorrow. Newcastle couldn't let him go in January, and it wouldn't have made sense anyway, especially since Sandro feels very connected to the club. We'll evaluate everything in the summer. Riso has also firmly denied claims that he offered Tonali to Arsenal during the winter window, despite reports suggesting the club were actively searching for midfield reinforcements. Deadline day rumours and Arsenal's midfield search. In what was otherwise a quiet January window, the speculation around Tonali provided a rare dose of intrigue. Once the seriousness of Merino's foot injury became clear, Arsenal were forced into the market for an emergency solution to cover the remaining months of the season. Mikel Arteta confirmed as much on deadline day shortly after reports claimed Arsenal had explored a deal for Tonali before being turned away. While some sources suggested the interest originated with Tonali's agent, those claims were later dismissed, with it reported that no formal talks between the clubs had taken place. Arsenal's sporting director is understood to admire Tonali, but the limited time left in the window and the complexity of any deal meant a transfer never progressed. Responding to the rumours, Riso told Sky Italia, "Newcastle won't let Sandro leave in January. We didn't speak to Arsenal about this." Regardless of what happened behind the scenes, Arsenal were left short in midfield, and Arteta admitted the situation was far from ideal. Arteta on Merino injury and transfer plans. Speaking ahead of Arsenal's Carabao Cup semi-final against Chelsea, Arteta acknowledged the impact of Merino's injury. The news about Mikel was very unexpected, especially given how long he's likely to be out, Arteta said. "We are actively looking at options and will continue to do so. If there's a final solution, we'll try to make it happen. If not, we'll carry on with what we have." The Arsenal manager stressed that the club had explored every possible avenue. "We have to look at everything and see if there's a player available. If there isn't, we stay with the squad we have." Arteta admitted he was far from relaxed about the situation, describing Merino's injury as a significant blow. "It's a very rare injury, so we need to wait and see how it responds after surgery. We'll monitor it closely, but he's likely to be out until near the end of the season." There is even uncertainty over whether Merino will be ready in time for this summer's World Cup. "We hope so, but it's hard to say," Arteta added. "He's a huge player for us, so versatile and competitive in different roles. Losing him for this long is a big setback."